Have you ever wondered how a tiny creature, often overlooked and misunderstood, could hold the key to the future of our planet? Today, we dive into the fascinating world of the dung beetle, a humble insect with a mission far greater than meets the eye. What if I told you that this little beetle is not just a cleaner of the earth but a visionary architect of ecosystems? Buckle up, because by the end of this video, you'll see the dung beetle in a whole new light. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, we're exploring the true mission of the dung beetle, a creature that's been pushing the future forward, one dung ball at a time. Stick around, because this story is packed with surprises, scientific discoveries, and a few moments that will make you say, wow, nature is incredible. From the African savannas to the rainforests of South America, dung beetles are found on every continent except Antarctica. They've been around for millions of years, quietly shaping the world we live in. But what makes them so special? Why should we care about an insect that spends its life rolling poop? The answers might just blow your mind. Before we dive in, let me ask you this: have you ever stopped to think about what happens to all the waste produced by animals in the wild? It doesn't just disappear, it's transformed, thanks to the dung beetle. And that's just the beginning of their story. So, let's embark on this journey together. By the end of this video, you'll understand why the dung beetle is more than just a bug. It's a symbol of resilience, innovation, and the delicate balance of life on Earth. When you think of nature's most important creatures, you might picture majestic lions, towering elephants, or soaring eagles. But what if I told you that one of the most vital players in our ecosystems is a tiny, poop-rolling insect? That's right, the dung beetle, also known as the rolabasta in some cultures, has a job that may seem disgusting but is absolutely essential for life on Earth. This little insect is not just a janitor of the wild, it's a key architect of entire ecosystems. Imagine a world without dung beetles. Every day, massive herbivores like elephants, zebras, and wildebeests leave behind mountains of dung. Without dung beetles, this waste would pile up, creating a breeding ground for disease, attracting swarms of flies, and suffocating the soil beneath. The result? Entire ecosystems would collapse under the weight of their own waste. That's why the dung beetle is far more than just a bug, it's a guardian of balance in nature. But here's where things get truly mind-blowing. A single dung beetle can bury dung 250 times its own weight in just one night. That's the equivalent of a human moving 15 tons in a single day. And they don't do this just for fun, there's a method to their madness. Dung beetles don't just clean up, they recycle, fertilize, and keep nature running like a well-oiled machine. When an elephant leaves behind a fresh pile of dung, it's like ringing a dinner bell for dung beetles. Within minutes, they arrive in droves, each scrambling to claim their share. But this isn't just about food, it's about survival. The dung serves as both a meal and a safe haven for their offspring. Without it, dung beetles wouldn't just struggle, they would cease to exist. These little warriors aren't just cleaning up the environment, they're preventing the spread of dangerous parasites and diseases. Many harmful bacteria and pests thrive in animal waste, but dung beetles work as nature's sanitation crew, removing these threats before they can cause harm. Their impact stretches beyond the animal kingdom, even protecting humans from potential disease outbreaks. So, the next time you see a dung beetle pushing a ball of poop across the ground, don't just think of it as a weird, gross little bug. Think of it as a tireless worker, maintaining the delicate balance of life on Earth. And trust me, this is just the beginning of their incredible story. While most people see dung as waste, dung beetles see it as liquid gold. These tiny insects are actually master recyclers, playing a critical role in maintaining soil health and even helping combat climate change. But how exactly does rolling poop contribute to saving the planet? The answer lies beneath the ground. When dung beetles bury animal waste, they do far more than just clean up the landscape. By mixing dung into the soil, they enrich it with essential nutrients, improving its structure and fertility. This process, known as nutrient cycling, is crucial for plant growth. Without it, the land would become barren, unable to support the wildlife that depends on it. And here's something you might not know: dung beetles are also warriors in the fight against climate change. When animal waste decomposes above ground, it releases greenhouse gases like methane and carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. But when dung beetles bury dung, they trap these gases underground, significantly reducing emissions. Scientists have even found that pastures with active dung beetle populations release far less methane than those without them. Think of dung beetles as nature's farmers. Just like humans plow and fertilize fields to ensure healthy crops, dung beetles till the earth in their own way, keeping the soil nutrient-rich and full of life. This has a direct impact on global agriculture, as healthier soil leads to better crop yields, benefiting both wildlife and humans alike. But the effects of their work don't stop at farming. By improving soil quality, dung beetles also help prevent erosion. In areas where land is overgrazed, topsoil can be stripped away by wind and rain, leading to desertification. Dung beetles counteract this by strengthening the soil, keeping it intact and fertile. So the next time you're enjoying a beautiful meadow, a lush forest, or even the fresh produce on your plate, remember, there's a good chance you have a tiny dung beetle to thank for it. These little creatures are working tirelessly beneath our feet, ensuring the planet stays healthy and thriving. Dung beetles may be small, but they possess abilities that seem almost superhuman. For starters, some species can roll dung balls up to 50 times their own body weight, making them one of the strongest creatures in the animal kingdom, relative to their size. To put that into perspective, if a human had the strength of a dung beetle, they could lift and move a truck all by themselves. But their strength isn't even the most incredible thing about them. Dung beetles are the only known animals that navigate using the Milky Way. That's right, while we struggle to find our way with GPS, these tiny insects use the stars to orient themselves. Even on the darkest nights, they can roll their dung balls in a perfectly straight line, avoiding competition and reaching their destination efficiently. And they need this precision, because rolling a dung ball is no easy task. The beetles must navigate through rough terrain, dodge hungry predators, and avoid rival beetles trying to steal their carefully crafted dung balls. It's a constant battle, requiring both intelligence and skill. But why do dung beetles go through all this effort? It's not just about food, it's about survival. These dung balls serve as nurseries for their young, ensuring the next generation has a safe place to grow and develop. Without them, dung beetles wouldn't be able to reproduce successfully. Even more impressively, dung beetles have evolved unique strategies to overcome their challenges. Some species roll dung balls, while others dig tunnels directly beneath fresh dung. Missions. The dung beetle's mission is far from over. As we continue to learn from these incredible insects, we're reminded of the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. So, the next time you see a dung beetle, take a moment to appreciate the vital role it plays in shaping our world. From the savannas of Africa to the fields of Europe, dung beetles are pushing the future forward, one dung ball at a time. Their story is a testament to the power of nature and the importance of every living creature, no matter how small. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of the dung beetle. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the natural world. And let me know in the comments, what's the most surprising thing you learned about dung beetles today? Until next time, keep exploring. Piles to store their treasure underground. This diversity in behavior has allowed them to thrive in every continent except Antarctica. So the next time you're lost in the dark, just remember, a tiny beetle can find its way home using the stars. If that's not a superpower, I don't know what is. To most people, a dung ball is nothing more than, well, a ball of poop. But to a dung beetle, it's everything. It's food, it's a fortress, and most importantly, it's a nursery for the next generation. But here's where things get interesting, securing one of these dung balls is not as easy as it looks. In the world of dung beetles, competition is fierce, and fights over dung can get downright brutal. Female dung beetles are incredibly selective when it comes to finding the right dung ball. They don't just settle for any pile of waste, they look for the best quality dung to ensure their offspring have the richest source of nutrients. Once a female finds the perfect dung, she works with a male partner to shape it into a ball and roll it to a safe location. This is where things get tricky. Dung beetles aren't the only ones looking for fresh dung, rival beetles are constantly on the lookout for an opportunity to steal a well-crafted dung ball. Some species of male dung beetles have even evolved massive horns, which they use like gladiators in combat, pushing and shoving their rivals away. If a beetle lets its guard down for even a moment, it could lose its entire prize to an opportunistic thief. But why go through all this trouble? The answer lies in survival and reproduction. Once the dung ball is safely buried underground, the female lays her eggs inside. This dung ball will serve as the only food source for the hatching larvae, keeping them well fed and protected from predators. It's like an all-in-one nursery, grocery store, and security bunker rolled into one. There's another twist: different species of dung beetles have developed different strategies to avoid competition. Some beetles are rollers, shaping and rolling their dung balls away, while others are tunnelers, digging directly beneath the dung pile to bury their treasure. Then there are the dwellers, who simply lay their eggs inside the dung without moving it at all. Each strategy has its advantages, but they all serve the same purpose, ensuring that the next generation of dung beetles has the best possible chance of survival. So the next time you see a dung beetle rolling its prize across the ground, remember, it's not just moving a ball of poop. It's fighting, strategizing, and preparing for the future, all while maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. And in the beetle world, the battle for dung never stops. Believe it or not, humans have been fascinated by dung beetles for thousands of years. In ancient Egypt, these little creatures were seen as sacred symbols of rebirth and transformation. The Egyptians noticed how dung beetles would roll perfect spheres of dung and bury them underground, only for new life to emerge later when the larvae hatched. To them, this was a powerful representation of the sun god Ra, who was believed to roll the sun across the sky each day. The scarab beetle, a type of dung beetle, became one of the most iconic symbols in Egyptian culture. You've probably seen them in ancient carvings, jewelry, and even inside the tombs of pharaohs. Scarabs were thought to bring good luck, and their imagery was often used as protective amulets. Who would have thought that an insect rolling poop would become one of the most revered creatures in history? But dung beetles aren't just a thing of the past. Today, modern farmers and scientists recognize them as one of nature's best allies. In many parts of the world, dung beetles are used to improve soil health, reduce pests, and increase agricultural productivity. By burying dung, they naturally fertilize the land, keeping it rich in nutrients without the need for chemical fertilizers. Here's another unexpected benefit: dung beetles help control fly populations. When dung is left on the surface, flies lay their eggs in it, leading to swarms of disease-carrying insects. But when dung beetles quickly bury the waste, they cut off the fly life cycle, drastically reducing their numbers. This is a huge advantage for livestock farmers, as it helps protect cattle from diseases spread by flies. In some countries, dung beetles have even been introduced as a natural alternative to pesticides. In Australia, for example, dung beetles were imported to help manage cattle waste, since native beetles weren't adapted to handle the massive amounts of dung produced by imported livestock. The results were incredible. Not only did the dung beetles improve soil quality, but they also helped reduce water contamination caused by excess waste runoff. So the next time you see a lush farm or a healthy pasture, you might want to thank a dung beetle. These tiny recyclers have been helping both nature and humans for centuries, and their contributions are still shaping our world today. As incredible as dung beetles are, they're facing serious threats. Habitat destruction, pesticide use, and climate change are putting many species at risk. Without dung beetles, ecosystems could suffer from uncontrolled waste buildup, increased pests, and declining soil fertility. But the good news is, scientists and conservationists are fighting to protect them, and their potential goes far beyond Earth. Some researchers believe that dung beetles could play a role in space exploration. Think about it: on long-term space missions, astronauts will need a sustainable way to manage waste and recycle nutrients. What better inspiration than nature's most efficient recycler? Some experts suggest that dung beetles could help break down organic waste in controlled environments, turning astronaut waste into fertile soil for growing food in space. But first, we need to ensure that dung beetles survive right here on Earth. Conservation efforts are already underway to protect these vital insects. In some regions, farmers are being encouraged to reduce pesticide use and preserve dung beetle habitats, ensuring that these tiny recyclers continue their work for generations to come. There's also growing interest in using dung beetles to restore damaged ecosystems. In areas where overgrazing and soil degradation have left the land barren, dung beetles could help kickstart the recovery process. By reintroducing dung beetles to these environments, scientists hope to improve soil health, promote plant growth, and restore balance to struggling ecosystems. From the African savannas to the rainforests of South America, dung beetles are pushing the future forward, one dung ball at a time. Their story is a testament to the incredible power of nature and the interconnectedness of all life on Earth. Even the smallest creatures can have a massive impact on our world. So the next time you see a dung beetle hard at work, take a moment to appreciate it. These tiny warriors are unsung heroes, working tirelessly to keep our planet healthy. Who knows? In the future, we might just owe them a thank you for helping us survive on Mars. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the world of the dung beetle. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories from the natural world. And let me know in the comments, what's the most surprising thing you learned about dung beetles today? Until next time, keep exploring.